plant on my head. Friday. Q&A. Fanmail. Lovely. All right then. Lance wore this hat last time, but I wanted to wear it, so I'm going to. Let's see what's going on. Obviously, Nerfing for Autism is this weekend. It is on the 21st, I believe. I may have said 22nd last time, but it's all part of the same weekend. I'll be flying out to North Carolina for that. Won't that be fun? Next month is Ragnar Oktoberfest down in California. Most of the local, in fact, I think all of the local crew are headed down to that. That should be a lot of fun. We've put together a competitive team. I don't know how competitive they will be, but they're going to try, and it's going to be fun. And then, yeah, I did the updates on the MakerSpace. And for those of you who haven't seen that, do feel free to take a look. It is coming along beautifully. I'm hoping to have it fully operational by sometime in October, which would be fantastic. Don't know when in October, but yeah. Questions. We have questions. Johnny Blaze, what is your favorite fictional army and favorite sword? Favorite fictional army? Probably the pre-galactic Civil War Mandalorians, like old Republic stuff. I thought those guys were pretty cool. By the way, I am testing out a new microphone today, so if the audio is crap, that's why. Come to grips with this. There's much tweaking yet to be done. I may end up moving the mic a little bit closer. It's currently a fair distance from me, and I don't know how much of a difference that makes. We will find out today. The Green Messer. Have you ever seen the rocket launcher Kalina Ann from the Devil May Cry series? I have not. I had to look it up, but I did look it up. And if so, do you think you could build it? Yeah, I mean, when you get right down to it, it's not all that much different from that one. You just need to add the carry handle and some bayonet and the box thing on the back. But other than that, it's a tube with a handle. It's just the additional cosmetic details that you need to add. Jedi Leader 01. When you host events, are you going to stream some? Currently, no, because the internet here is not sufficient to stream video. It would be horrifically choppy and nobody would like it. It would be terrible. But I'm hoping someday, in the next couple of years, they'll get fiber out here, and I will get it, and then I will start streaming, and it will be fantastic. What I could do is film those events and upload them, but streaming really isn't an option, tragically. Do you plan to cook things on the wood-burning stove? No, it's not a cook stove, it's a heating stove. I don't think it would actually work well to try to cook on it at all. It's very much not designed for that. Michael King, have you read Skullduggery Pleasant? No. Christopher Goodrow, what is the highest rate of fire a strife can get? That would require theoretical physics to get involved. I don't know what the highest rate anyone has ever gotten. I've heard of rapid strikes getting, anywhere from 14, 16 darts a second. Rival, I think I've clocked things at 20 rounds a second, but a strife, it would depend on which kit you used and what voltage you tried running it at, but I haven't the foggiest idea what the actual what the theoretical limit is, because in order to determine what the highest is, you would have to prove a negative, which is not possible, so, yeah. Christopher Goodrow again. What is thine cherished food from potato? Mashed. I like my potatoes mashed. Ryan Perkins. For the Q&A, have you ever considered writing a book? No. Penguin Entity. Do you have any suggestions for how someone to make a Nerf Blaster radio control fire like you did with your Vulcans? Do what I did in the Vulcans. Really, the only tricky part is wiring in the transmitter, or the receiver, rather. You can get cheap 12-volt radio transmitters and receivers. It's just a little button transmitter and a 12-volt receiver, and it's just a matter of wiring it in. The trick is the volts. You need 12 volts of power, which is going to be roughly a 4S battery, but Vulcans can run on a 4S just fine because of how beefy the motor is. It's got a 360 motor in it, so it'll run on a 4S LiPo, and you have to have that in there. The thing you absolutely need to remember to do is to wire in an on-off switch. So the Vulcan naturally already has that on-off switch. Definitely wire that in so that the receiver can get turned off, because otherwise it's on all the time and it will drain your battery. Just always remember to take your batteries out. But really, you just have to wire that in between the positive lead from your battery goes into the receiver, both to power it, and then there's another spot that you wire in that is the switch that then goes to the positive on your motors, and when you push the button, it flips it over and fires it. It's actually really simple. Blue Magma and the Model Railwayman. Hi, Cap. What would you recommend for a cyberpunk-style security guard outfit? Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk has never really been my area of expertise. I've been more diesel punk myself. But I would think grays and silvers and a lot of neon would be where I would go for a security guard. Bits of metal armor like vambraces or shoulders or shin guards or something, and then a gray uniform but neon highlights, something along those lines is probably what I would go with for cyberpunk. Something that looks, cybernetic-y looking stuff, because cyberpunk. Comrade Shark. Do you think a suit similar to the original Iron Man suit would be cool? Yeah, that'd be a really cool Nerf thing. If you did proton packs to simulate the flamethrowers like my dual Zeus, and then XBZs or Titans or something to represent the rocket launchers. Yeah, that would be really cool. Ha! Direct hit! Benjamin Wright. Thoughts on a lever-actioned, shell-fed Nerf blaster? Well, there's the rapid-fire tech. That actually already is that. It's a Busby blaster. It took Busby shells and a Busby magazine. And, when you ejected the shells, it was lovely. Episode 20 of Can I Take a K-26? I featured it. So, yeah, that's a thing. It can be done, and it's been done. Barry Orgar. Have you named your dual Nerf-mounted Zeus system? I have not, because I haven't actually used it at an event yet. I should do that. I took it to Afterworlds, but other than using it as a prop for the dungeon crawl, I didn't actually use it against any players in combat. It would have been featured in the final fight, but they chose not to fight, which was really impressive. Wythet H. Do you know if the 5K spring for the Alpha Trooper will work in the Nerf AccuTrooper? Yeah, the only difference between the AccuTrooper and the Alpha Trooper, other than the name, or the Elite Alpha Trooper, other than the name, is the barrel attachment point. As far as I know, the internals are identical. R.J. Radinsky has a bunch of questions. If given the opportunity, would you want to switch your Strife sidearms over to a holster rig? No. Once the makerspace is functional, will you do complicated upgrades like better heating and or entertainment items like billiards and or a foosball table? Given that I'm in logging country, wood-burning heat is actually the most efficient I can get. It would cost more to heat the place with electricity than it would with wood. And I do want a foosball table. Pool table would take up too much space, but a foosball table I do want. Will you consider hosting something like Afterworlds? Maybe something like it. The problem is 2.5 acres really isn't enough space for something like Afterworlds, unless I did it on a really small scale, and that I do plan to host Nerf Wars, and if I were ever to fully develop the second half of the lower part of my property, I could probably host a larger event, but it still wouldn't be anywhere on the scale of Afterworlds. Afterworlds is on a very large plot of land, so yeah, that would be the problem there. Sidewinder Llama. How do you feel about the Mandalorian series coming out this year? I think it looks neat. Doug Hunt, what lightsaber do you have hanging there in the center? I believe it is a saber forge of some variety. I don't know anything beyond that, though. Johnny Miller, which Maiar spirit's powers would you want to have? Oh, probably Iyonwe, just because he was supposedly the greatest swordsman. And as long as I also get the immortality, that would be cool. The Shadow Philosopher. Might I ask if you have a basic idea for the parameters and dimensions of the forts? Not yet, no. I would need to actually plot them out and figure out exactly how much space I want to use up, how tall I want them. I know I want them to be fairly simple. Basically, you know, walls, door in front and behind, and a tower somewhere, though I don't know where exactly I want the tower. I do want the walls to be high enough that you have to have a shooting platform on the inside. I don't want it to have any actual functional doors, because kicking in the doors could kick it into a small child's face. And it's not meant to actually be a defensible, like a true, like, defend from, you know, a serious attack, but rather just something that gives you cover and an objective and a spawn point and all of that. So once I actually do have a vague idea, I will mention it. Though that's probably not going to be something that I'll even start really seriously thinking about until next spring, because I've got so much else that needs to be done first. Lord Enzar. Know any IMR motors? No. As far as I know, there are no motors that were actually designed for IMRs. Worker has some that I think were... I don't know if they were really designed for IFRs, the LIFEPO4. But the major upgrade motors that you see on, like, Out of Dark's websites, the Michelle 2s, the Fang revamps, the Krakens, the Valkyries, the Rhinos, the Hellcats, those were all specifically designed for LiPo use. And they were, you know, also very much specifically engineered for our hobby, where, you know, they went to motor manufacturers and said, okay, we want a 130 motor that spins at this RPM with this much torque on this voltage, and they either went with, you know, a 2S voltage or a 3S voltage, specifically, you know, the 7.4 and the 11.7, I think, something like that, because those were industry standards. You could get those batteries, and then they went with LiPo because LiPo are capable of producing the amount of current necessary to have a motor that works at those specifications. So, you know, the manufacturer would build the motor to spin at that RPM with that much torque on that voltage, and then from there they would be able to tell you, here's how much current it's going to require. So you're going to need a battery that has at least that. And IMRs are not high current batteries in general. There are some that are higher than others, but that is not what they were designed for. And so a motor, there aren't any motors that are designed specifically for optimal Nerf specs, you know, the RPM we want and the torque we want, that is intended to run on the current that an IMR puts out. So as far as I know, there aren't any. The only ones that are even close are some of the Worker 132s, and they're dubious. That's why we use LiPos, because there's a reason. Johnny Miller again. Do you usually end up wearing the silly hat throughout the video? It depends. If it's in the winter and it's cold, I will keep the hat on my head. Here in the summer, this hat's coming off the moment I am off screen, because it's warm. And finally, Adrian Ghostwolf. Have you considered learning how to make your own root beer? I have wanted to for many, many, many years, because I know my mother made root beer back when I was like 9. And I've always wanted to, but I've never gotten around to it. Luckily, I was recently sent by fans a soda spring and extracts, and then a number of different people have sent me additional extracts, and I just haven't gotten around to actually tinkering with it. So I need to. I want to see, you know, test each of the extracts by themselves, and then try mixing and matching extracts, try to figure out how much extract you need, what other stuff should I add. You know, it's something that I, being me, would want to do a lot of research into before I really got into it, and then tinker until I found a combination I like. And I will. Someday. Someday. Ha! Ha! 2 for 2. Awesome. All right. On to the loot. All right. now to the loot. First, I'm going to show off some stuff that I was handed at the most recent war that I went to. Because it's really, really cool that they gave me these things. And I don't remember who gave it to me, because I'm a schmuck. But they don't know who they are. If they're watching this, they know that I appreciate it greatly. I was given 2 4-packs of Sprecher. I've already drank 4 of them. And I shall enjoy these immensely. I still haven't found a local source, so I greatly appreciate that they ordered them for me. So that is super cool. That will go into the mini fridge. I was then given this box of loot. So apparently the person who sent me those stamps is actually local. Because in the previous video, I had a video where I was showing off some 3D printed stamps. Well, they have come back, and they have indeed made ones with the crew hourglass as opposed to the auxiliary anti-glass, and they have made a bunch more. They've made them both the negatives and the reverses, so that I can either do white on a black background or do a black on a white background, and it will get the colors correct. And in a number of different sizes, again. So that is super, super cool. And yeah, greatly, that's going to be fun. Somebody recommended in the comments that I should put a stamp on the blasters that I repair before I send them back, and I like that idea. I will definitely ask the people who I repair them for, would you like this stamped? And then I will stamp it. They also gave me a box of jolts to replenish my losses from my jolt vest I went to Jared's Epic Nerf battle, because not all of them end up coming back. And so now I've got a plethora of jolts. That, I mean, just a boatload. Apparently there was a sale where they were like $1.50 or something at Walmart or somewhere, and so the guy just cleaned them out. Yeah. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. 20 more jokes. So almost a full reload, which is awesome. Whoever you are, you're awesome. Also, to whoever it was who, when I was sitting at the table, opened up something, and they came over and they said it's a jolt reskin, and I snarked at them, and I believe I was overly snarky, and I apologize. I was tired, and I should have behaved better. Train! Alright, let's get to the first package. We have a package. I'm terribly curious what it is. Good lord. Nerf ammo crates. That's awesome. I love Nerf ammo crates. If any of you have Nerf ammo crates that you're looking to get rid of, feel free to send me the Nerf ammo crates. That is super cool. This one has led a rough life, but they both still seal. Very cool. Where did this come from? There's no note. Sean Engler. Sean, you're awesome. No note? No note. Sweet. Darren! And we have a package from Daniel Rao, who lives in Lewiston, where I used to live, and I keep saying I'm going to visit him, and then never manage to do it when I'm in that area. Someday. We shall meet there. Right through that paper. Take it. Aha! There is a note. Yes, I got you. Flip page. A Vulcan. Chain. Yes, only the chain. I have been fighting with myself over sending the Vulcan with it. It's a Sonic Green for you to sell and use the money towards the Makerspace, but I decided to be nice and do it. Do that for you. The money will come later. I thought you might enjoy the chain, though. I've taken the liberty of including some more blasters for Captain K26, plus 2 more blasters as apologies for any heart problems you are now having thinking you've been sent a Vulcan. Well, a Vulcan wouldn't have fit in this box unless you disassembled it, but, oh, you got me paper, too. I do like paper. Alright. Nope. Just paper. Yep. Just paper. Oh, there's stuff. Oh, good lord, sir. Alright, so we've got a Vulcan belt, which I did not have a green Vulcan belt, so that is really, really cool. because Vulcans are neat. Alright, we have... Oh, have I done this one? I don't know if I've done this one. I think I've seen this one at Goodwill's and I've passed it up. But it's a Stats Blast. I might have. Could always do it again though. And then, oh, one of these dollar store ones. You gotta love them. You gotta. Oh, that'll be a fun one. And then, this man has sent me a pair of orange stripes. Right? Well, that'll definitely make up for the heart problems, because that is awesome. You, sir, you are awesome. I swear, one of these days, when I'm in the area, I believe I will be going home to Cottonwood for Christmas. So, we might be able to meet up while I'm there, because I'll probably be there for a couple of days, because it's Christmas. Alright. That is awesome. You are awesome. You are all awesome. Trains are awesome. Alright. Thank you so much. If you want to send me stuff, do feel free. Things are finally getting organized enough here that it's not going to make too much of a horrible mess to get stuff. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do with boxes. So many boxes. Alright. Thank you for watching.